As Israel prepares for its ground offensive in Gaza, world leaders are struggling to find ways to de-escalate the conflict, provide humanitarian assistance to civilians, and accelerate the release of hostages. And here's all you need to know on the latest developments. The Hamas militants, they've claimed that they wanted to release 2 more hostages on humanitarian grounds, but Israel declined to receive them. Israel has described it as a propaganda. In a brief statement, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said, "We will not refer to false propaganda by Hamas." Hundreds of demonstrators, including family of those missing after the 7th of October Hamas attacks, protested in central Tel Aviv, demanding the government to take immediate action to return their loved ones being held hostage by Hamas. Hamas said it took about 200 hostages during a deadly October 7th rampage. Several countries have come forward to negotiate for hostages with Hamas. Qatar has emerged as a significant player. Qatari Foreign Ministry spokesperson has now said the hostages could be released very soon. It's continuously engaging with both Israel and Hamas for the release of all civilians. A Hamas official in Lebanon said that the group was working with mediators led by Egypt and Qatar to release all civilian hostages being held in Gaza.
في إطار التزام حركة حماس مع كل الوسطاء وخاصة الأشقاء في مصر وقطر وغيرهم من الدول الشقيقة والصديقة، تم بالأمس بالتعاون مع دولة قطر الشقيقة تسليم سيدة وابنتها تحملان الجنسية الأمريكية. وفي هذا السياق نؤكد بأننا سنعمل مع جميع الوسطاء لتنفيذ قرار الحركة بإغلاق ملف المدنيين المحتجزين في حال توافرت الظروف الأمنية والميدانية المناسبة، كما نحمل الاحتلال مسؤولية سلامتهم نتيجة القصف الفاشي المستمر على قطاع غزة.
Meanwhile, Israeli ground offensive of the war-battered Palestinian enclave appeared imminent as formation of Israeli tanks and other military equipment was seen positioning around Gaza's border in southern Israel. Israel said that it killed terror operatives from Hamas and the Islamic Jihad who were planning attacks in an airstrike on a mosque in the West Bank's Jenin. Earlier, Israel's military spokesperson, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, said that Israel will continue to attack in the area of Gaza City, and this comes after an attack on Gaza site which killed at least 13 Palestinians. US President Joe Biden said he was talking to the Israelis when asked whether he is encouraging them to delay the invasion of Gaza.
Mr. President, are you going to delay? Are you encouraging the Israelis to delay invasion?
Talking in Israel.
Have you any word on any additional hostages? Mr. President, are you going to delay? Are you encouraging the Israelis to delay invasion?
Talking in Israel.
This comes as a peace summit was held in Egypt's capital to discuss the Israel-Hamas war. It aimed to de-escalate the conflict and provide humanitarian aid for civilians in the Gaza Strip. More than 20 prime ministers, foreign ministers and regional leaders took part in the meeting. While Arab and Muslim states called for an immediate end to Israel's offensive, Western countries mostly voiced more modest goals such as humanitarian relief for civilians. However, the meeting ended with no agreement towards containing the violence. Earlier on Saturday, 20 trucks carrying aid crossed into Gaza, and this is the first convoy of humanitarian supplies since Israel began its siege 12 days ago. Meanwhile, residents of northern Israel and both sides of Israel-Lebanon border are now fearful of a second front of the conflict escalating. And this comes as Israel said its aircraft struck Hezbollah targets in Lebanon on Saturday and that one of its soldiers was hit by an anti-tank missile, while the Iran-backed group said that the strike killed 6 of its fighters. Israel is facing strong opposition from the United States, which also fears a two-front war, which would risk igniting a major regional conflict.